I know that fans in Asia are probably going to ask the question, or I'm going to ask it for them, which is, great to see you. How are you doing? Are you happy, having fun?
Yeah, very good. I'm having a good time back in F1. I've had the year away, so I've had a bit of time to think about everything. But it's impressive, especially uh, during this year away. I've kind of come off during COVID, so empty grandstands or whatever, and it feels like there's a massive boom in F1 right now, which is it's a bit of a shock actually. But yeah, no, it's all going well.
A massive boom, and that's because you've come back into the sport. Is that right?
I like to say it's me, but I'm going to go along with a bit more Netflix and I think a pretty good championship showdown to go along with it.
There you go. So we've had 13 rounds of 22 so far. How do you reflect on the first part of the season?
On my side, it feels like it's gone really well actually. I'm really happy. I feel like I've had a year away, so there was a little bit of this kind of catching up to do, but at the same time, because everything's so new, because we've had this new generation of cars, what have you, I feel like that's kind of made everyone have a little bit of a reset. And truthfully speaking, the results haven't really been there. But unfortunately, right now, as a team, we're not really where we want to be. And we've had the odd points, which have been great, and I feel like we really worked hard for them, and to get points has been a massive achievement. But of course, we want to be scoring more of them. We want that to be a little bit more regular than it is, and that's really the goal right now. Is started off good, but we want more.
Yeah. And how does it feel? Because when you came into the sport, you were, the newbies, the rookie, so to speak, and then you've had this year out. Now you're a team leader, and you're doing more than just driving the car. How does that feel?
I enjoy it. I feel like it's a different kind of role that I've played this year compared to previous years, because obviously, when I came into Formula One, when I started it, I really felt like I was just learning everything. Everything was happening so quickly. It was almost like getting a fast tracks. I went straight into Red Bull within 6 months, and it was like, I wouldn't say I was expected to know everything, but I had to be on top of my A game if I was going to perform. And time is so valuable, and you can't take it for granted. And I feel like during these years away from, during the 1 year I had away from the sport, but also that's almost 3 years by that point, being involved around Formula One, I've come back much more experienced, much more mature, and I feel like at the same time, the team rely on my feedback much more than Red Bull do. Of course, we're a growing team. We're not where we want to be, and we have goals to go forwards into the future. And a lot of that is the feedback that I give to the team. And, I know how a championship winning team do things. And at the same time, of course, Williams were one. But we do need to play some catch up. And what I can give to the team, I guess there's some knowledge and some stuff that, Red Bull did differently to Williams that I hope I can bring to the team for us to speed that process up.
And in your previous years in racing, karting, Formula 3, Formula 2, I imagine you got satisfaction from being the fastest, from being the race winner. It was kind of obvious, right? Where you'd get satisfaction. These days, when you can't have that, where does the satisfaction come from?
It's interesting because it's the one thing which people ask me. What's the big difference between Red Bull and Williams? And it's very hard to say. Actually, this team operates very differently to this team, because they don't. They're all at the very top level, and even any team in Formula One, they're working at the very top in terms of technology, in terms of determination and skill. But it's more, the main difference for me is exactly that. It's managing expectation, thinking about what is success to me, because I can't expect to be winning as much as it would be amazing, and I'll definitely take it. We have to be realistic to some extent, and really the way this year's unfolded, points seems to be almost this the new kind of winning, if that makes sense. You have to get that drive from somewhere, and yes, that's pretty much it.
Makes total sense. And is it fun to drive the 2022 F1 cars?
I enjoy them a lot. I feel like they've become much more raw in the way that you have to drive them. So previous years, they were so refined. There's so much technology and suspension in the way that the aero was achieved. It almost felt digital how you could drive the cars. They were so refined. And you come into this generation of car, they're very low, they're very stiff. You see us jumping around everywhere, making more mistakes, and it's almost a bridge between Formula 2 and Formula 1. There's almost it's gone into this much more physical, raw state where the driver really has to be on top of the car. You're dancing much more with the cars these days. Every bump you feel, it reacts differently, and that's fun. That puts another element on top of everything else to make you a fast driver.
Sounds terrific. Of course, for the fans in this part of the world, in Asia, we're looking forward to the Singapore Grand Prix and the chance to see you on track. Tell us about it. Is it one of your favourites? What makes Singapore special?
Firstly, I think as the race goes, it's the most physical race that we go to. I imagine that it's going to be the most physical race, one of the most physical races ever that we'll have. It's already bumpy, and with the cars that we've got now, it's going to be tricky. I think this year when we've been doing some of the races we have been in, you can really tell the impacts or the porpoising and the physicality of the cars. I think we've been going through a bit of a heat wave as well, which hasn't helped. But the drivers, we are tired after the races. It's a proper workout. So I'm looking forward to Singapore in that aspect. And it's a special race because it's a street circuit. It's close to the walls, and at the same time, it's a really cool place to be. I think Singapore, just the nightlife and the food, especially for me, the food. It's a beautiful part of the world. So
it is. You'll be busy. Final question then, as we look into the second part of the season, any particular expectations? Do you think the car can go forward?
Yes, it's the way that I see it now. It's a really good opportunity for teams to bounce back and make up ground quickly, because the way that these cars are, it's so open. The concepts are so new. You can see a team like us. We've changed completely the philosophy of the car within 6 months. And in previous generation cars, you spend year on year refining what you've got. You get yourself almost in a hole because you've exploited every single part of the car that you can over 5 years of never changing anything. Now is the time where it's such a new generation of car. You can really make big decisions, big changes, and play catch up very quickly. So yes, I see why not. I think we know as a team where we are struggling, where we know what type of corners we lose out to compared to other people, and we know the reason why. It's not something we are scratching our heads about. So that gives us a clear direction to go towards. If we can get that, I see why not. Why can't we score points more regularly towards the end of this season? Great.
Well, that's a good thing to look forward to. We're delighted to have the chance to talk to you, Alex. Really fantastic.
No worries.
Have a great break. Yeah, see you in Singapore.